Out of the way, controller. Microphone set up. Can't tell if audio set up. Oh, actually, should be able to ding myself. Yep. Spin that across a bit more. Thank you. Alright, good, that's not fine. Time to post the links. Oh. Space Quest 2 most definitely won. Alright. Linky link time. Twitter. Whoops. Doop. I should probably make an invite for that again. Post it in here. There we go. It's just about to turn 8 o'clock, so perfect timing. I can check my stream to make sure it's working. Pew. Apparently it thinks the stream's offline. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all, YouTube. I'll just reload the page. No, it was the baby that got shot, not you. It's right in his head. Yep, stream's working. All live. Stream health is excellent, so that's good. So I can start playing a Goom. I do not want to use joystick. Look, it's Space Quest #1, the game that totally won. Oops. No, Space Quest 2 won. There's no point setting my joystick, it's a controller. I'm not going to use it, so... It's Mananan's soundtrack. Most certainly no one should ever remake this game. Especially not some pair of adventure game designers who made a couple of good games. Never remake it. Not gonna bother reading it. Space Quest 2, no one needs to read this. Hopefully I don't have to press enter. I think I do. I think you mean informal, not infamous. Informal quests would be their name. Or informal adventures. Place. Xenon Orbital Station 4. I feel really bad. These are like $150 headphones, and I'm putting out PC speaker beeps into them. Welcome aboard X0CS4. To log on for duty, please enter your name below. Up to 18 characters. I believe that's the character's name. Orbital Station 4 is one of many orbiting Xenon, your home planet. It is a transfer point for travelers seeking transportation to the various planets in the Ernon system. As we begin this chapter of our story, we find you, Roger Wilco, Ace Janitor, doing what you do best. Sweeping. I need to move my camera, because I keep looking at the chat to, like, talk to you guys, but my camera's over here, so... A beep emanates from your wristwatch. You release your grip on the broom. I was facing this way, so I shouldn't have come in. The broom floats away, never to be used again. That makes the third one this week. Wait till your boss finds out. I'm pretty sure I've got saved games. Yeah. I don't know how to delete them while I'm in here, so we're just going to have to... We'll write over them. That's going fast. Save again. You know, I've never actually tried putting DOSBox onto the different sound cards. I probably should one day. This blew... I took, like, ages in this scene trying to make... I thought there'd be, like, an elevator that would come down. Took me a while to work out that you could walk on the wall. What I'm upset about is you can't kill yourself off of the wall and roof. I wanted to make a really cool gif of Roger walking off of the roof from up here. But you can't. It's disappointing when you... Like, people... We talk about Sierra games, like, being filled with deaths. But making the gifs of them, that the amount of times you'd find where what would be a very clear death, like, you'd expect that to kill you. The game goes, no, no, no. Don't worry about that. You can't die. Due to an obvious lack of common sense, you have stepped off the edge, lost your magnetic grip to the ship, and drifted to your death. I had no momentum downwards. I should have just stepped off and, like the broom, just kept going. Way to go, Wingnut. Once again, you've demonstrated your inability to sustain life. You quickly glance around the room to see if anyone saw you blow it. My cat might have. Hang on. Ooh. You are staring at your wrist and apparently awaiting some divine guidance. Rude. There are 3. H, C, and T. Time, 11:26. Oh, that went fast. Press T. Time, 11:26. Temp, negative 47 degrees Celsius. I think space would be a lot colder than that. Oh. Roger Wilco, get in here on the double. You've got a mess to clean up in the shuttle which just returned. One of the passengers got space sick on the way down. Besides, you should have been done out there an hour ago. With that, the image disappears. Oh boy, that went past fast. I mean, I could go do work. Your horoscope for today. The size of this just changed. Keep up the good work. Today could bring that big promotion you think you deserve. Don't take any wooden buckazoids. And now it's back again. The resolution of this game just changed. And I think because I've got it set in overlay, it actually changed the resolution of the DOSBox. I've never seen that happen before. Normally I use my DOSBox, not the GOG one, which changes it. So that's weird. Oh, I'm being decontaminated. I try to press Control I. It does too. I normally play these in Direct Raw, where I don't think it does that in DOSBox. It just leaves it as it is. So I've never seen that happen before, because I always play in a different mode, apparently. The lockers are all closed. There is nothing too interesting about them. Then I shall look in the locker. You bravely peer into the locker to find a Rubik's puzzle and your athletic supporter. You'll need to change... Oh, I need to change this. Alright, maybe I'll wear this one. Makes sense to me. Aww. Aww. Apparently Roger's too fat for those suits. Alright, so time to take the jock strap. And the Rubik's Rube. Time to look at the jock strap. This is your athletic supporter. Without close inspection, you notice it is too... Wait. Without close inspection, you notice it to be well used. So I guess that means it stinks and looks disgusting, so you can tell straight away that it's been used a lot. Bonus points of information. I've never used one of them. Got no clue why you would. Don't know what the fuck they are for, besides that something in American sports, they wear them. Only ever seen them on TV. The Rubik's Rube puzzle has made you look stupid more than usual. You pull the puzzle out and give it a few spins. Instead of improving, it seems to be worse. Irritated, you stash it and go on with the adventure. Everything is already snug and secure. No need to wear it now. You never know, Roger. You never know. You're in the transportation control room at the orbital station. The room is abuzz with activity as technicians monitor XOS-4 operations. A pneumatic transport tube is accessible from the walkway above. It's about time you got in here, Roger Wilco. Head for the shuttle bay on the double. I'm warning you. You're on your last leg around here, bud. One more screw up in your history. Ah, see? He then orders the transportation officer to send you directly to the shuttle bay and nowhere else until the job has been completed. Well... Oh, I know about, like, cups and that, but I've always worn undies that, you know, they hold on to you pretty tight anyway. Sorry, the used Nancy Reagan autographed Just Say No condom had to be removed for the shipping version. I remember you doing that in your video now. I should have remembered. Okay. I guess they invited Al Lowe in to write one part of their game. My fingers are all over the keyboard today. Beam me up, Scotty! You're into the game barely 8 minutes, and already you've nimbly stepped to your death. How far down your family tree did Knuckles last play an important role in locomotion? What's your step next time? It has been a pleasure watching you play Space Quest 2. Don't know what those symbols mean. I mean, I know that's their fancy symbols for 2, but yeah. I rather like that death. It's fitting. It's a very fitting death. Kind of wish there was like that elevator would go down, you could jump off. Ooh, the little black lines in his boots merge into the ground there. It's a bit weird. Apparently it's just the next room over. You're in the orbital station shuttle bay. A shuttle fresh from a passenger drop-off on Xenon is refueling for its next trip. A pneumatic transport tube is accessible from the walkway. A refueler replenishes the shuttle supply. This is not Codename Iceman. Oh, good news. Good news, everybody. Oh, I can't do a Farnsworth voice. Do the Farnsworth voice. Good news! I beat the dice game in Codename Iceman, so next time we play, we won't be doing that. Thank fuck. It took like 5 different restores to get through it, and a lot of luck. I guarantee you that programming of that dice game rigs it at the end. That when you're trying to win the device, he is much more likely to roll 5s and 6s, because he was getting a lot of them. And yeah, that's the child. He should be asleep. No, it's only 8:15. He's fine. He's still allowed to be awake. It is the school holidays. You enter the shuttle and start sniffing around for the mess you must clean. You are surprised to find that the shuttle is not empty. There are two extremely ugly suckers walking towards you. Hey, what the... Your favorite expletive here. My favorite expletive is you... Hey, what the fucking cunt sticks is that? Your protest is cut short as the two interstellar ruffians proceed to thump you unconscious. Everything fades. I don't like it when text boxes move past without me. Time passes. More time passes. 1 hour later. A strange dream turns into the realization that you are being shaken and talked to by a voice unfamiliar to you. A dull ache triggers a distant memory of a scuffle in which you were the focal point. Oh, see, it skipped... As you try to struggle free, you notice that your hands are tied behind your back. As the eyes dial into focus, you make out an oddly disfigured being seated before you. A sagging mass of flesh that appears to have been human at one time. Tubes and wires extend from his body, leading to machines which keep him alive. Suddenly, his visage stirs and he begins to speak.
I think that's you.
That's rude. Well, did we have a nice nap? I thought we would have to resort to drastic measures to wake you. Oh well. Welcome to my humble fortress, Roger Wilco. The name's Valhall Sludge Valhall. I was the genius behind the star generator when it was still in the concept stages. It was to be my ultimate war weapon until some sissy-pants scientist decided it would be better used saving lives rather than destroying them. What a waste of technology. Excuse me if I sound bitter. Anyway, you ruined my space operation. I was going to use the star generator to make Xenon pay for what they did to me. They were going to know my wrath in a big way. You somehow managed to change all that. Oh, I suppose I should have known better than to use those mental midget Sarians. That's not the point, however. You are responsible and you shall pay. Besides, I have another plan, and you'll not be around to foil it. It's lawyers. His plan's lawyers. It doesn't make any sense. Door-to-door salesmen and lawyers. I have devised a plan so horrible, so frightening, so diabolical, that no one will be able to stop me. Observe my latest creation.
Oh, man.
I intend to invest your planet with thousands of these genetically engineered door-to-door life insurance salesmen. I will at last reap sweet revenge from the scientific community that mocked me. My plan was to kill you. But I've had a change of heart. Ha, ha, ha. Get it? He peers down at the hoses protruding from his chest and connected to a life support system. Forgive me, I'm a kidder. I've decided I would get much more enjoyment watching you suffer. He's laughing now for some reason. My associates will escort you to the surface of Labion, where you will perform many painful hours of manual labor in my mines. Be seeing you. An injection renders you unconscious. Your drugged carcass is loaded onto a shuttle. Upon reviving, you look through the viewing port to see Valhall's massive asteroid fortress getting smaller. This game, for its faults, which it has some, does look amazing. It's probably the second or third best looking AGI game. After touching down on a giant landing platform, you are ushered to a hovercraft waiting to transport you to the mining site. Utter despair sets in. You think Roger would be used to that feeling? But wait, Looney Tunes is about to invade. Uh-oh.
You're going to die.
Oh
now.
great, I suppose we're out of fuel. Way to go, Gorf Breath. Don't blame me, it was your turn to fill up. You're always forgetting to do it. Wait till the master finds out. You're in big trouble. Hey, don't talk to me that way, you slime bucket. I filled it last time, dip. The argument between the two guards is cut short as gravity reasserts itself.
Looney Tunes have successfully invaded.
Good thing that guard broke your fall. He didn't look too happy about it though. Labion. One of my teachers got rather upset that I knew the word examine at school. And I explained, like, I knew how to spell examine when I was about his age, about 9 or 10. I think I might have been 8, 9 or 10. And she wanted to know how I'd learned the word examine. She was not happy when I told her it was because I was using the word examine body. The guard appears to be less thick than you remember him. Many of his formerly contained body fluids seem to be at large. This guard's body has been fatally damaged by the fall. Everything inside it is twisted and bent. You do notice a button with a flashing light next to it. It seems to be emitting a high-pitched beep. You see a normal button and light. The light is currently on. You didn't notice it during the flight. It must have come on as a result of the crash. You press the button, the light goes dark, and you no longer notice the high-pitched beep. You must be seeing things. So remember, if you're seeing eyes, there's no eyes here. Ah! You fall to the bottom of a concealed pit. You might have survived the fall had you not come in contact with the several 30-centimeter long spikes planted vertically along the bottom of the pit. Way to go, Wingnut. Once again, you've demonstrated your inability to sustain life. You quickly glance around the room to see if anyone saw you blow it. Thank you for playing Space Quest 2, Roger Wilco. It's been swell to watch. Have a nice day. I assume the little people we're going to be friends with are the ones who actually set that up. Which is kind of weird. Peekaboo. Alright, so that's not the way I want to go yet. Banana talking. He's calling out. He wants a tent. Don't pick him up. No, he doesn't like that.
Why do you do?
Because I'm a mean person. Holy jeez, boy! That mushroom thing sucked you clean up. You can't move a muscle, nor see it or a speck of light. You begin feeling waves of tingling warmth and moisture. Suddenly, it's not so bad in here. Wow! Check out the colors, dude! Your body and mind enjoy the short-lived buzz that is a side effect of the lethal poison you now marinate in. You're oblivious to the end. Not a bad way to go, actually. But it sure is early in the game. I had high hopes for you. They said, who? Roger Wilco? Not a chance. That chump won't last 20 minutes. I said, no way. Roger Wilco isn't that lame. So anyway, don't make me look stupid too. Thanks for playing. You've been very entertaining.
And failed to survive more than 20 minutes.
You go away. You go read a book or something, child. The mushroom death is pretty damn good. Foliage is too thick. They could have put that on the back of the box as like, you know, don't do drugs. Sierra says drugs are bad, okay? They are pretty spot on. I kind of wonder if those times are actually... it can't be. It must just be sort of, you know, they played it enough, they know what the time frame of getting to different places is, roughly. Otherwise, they've got some kind of timer. I mean, King's Quest 3 had a timer. Maybe there's like a hidden one in here, and it like notes generally how far you've gotten. Suddenly, from somewhere to the east, you hear a twang, followed by a high-pitched shriek. So that's the only hint that there's someone to save to the east. Look, there he is. You're in another area of the forest. The growth seems to be getting heavier here. The little creature caught in the snare has thick-looking pinkish skin. He looks to be less than a meter tall. He doesn't seem too thrilled with his predicament. You're too far away. Okay, am I closer? Apparently he's still too far away. Oh, now I can kiss him. You really aren't attracted to it. That's just rude. I could be. Oh, he ran away. He didn't like me trying to kiss him. Before disappearing through a tiny hole in the brush, the little creature gives you a long glance. Yeah, he's making sure he knows what I look like. You file that police report. Yeah, his name was Roger Wilco. He looks like a chump, and he tried to kiss me. Exploring 2 would do as a good save for wandering around this area. Wait, do I have dialect order form? Yep, so I've got an order form. This is an order form you removed from a magazine for a free Labian Terror Beast mating whistle. It's ready to be mailed in. Well, why did he have that? You take a possession of one of the spores, being careful not to mistakenly break it open. Since if you kick it, you fall asleep. Which I could show you, but it's kind of... I might as well. Hang on, let's just do it. You seem to have kicked one of these strange little spores. Your kick caused some spores to open and spray a fine powder into the air. As a result, you are paralyzed from head to toe, unable to move a single muscle. Not even that one. And then you just gotta sit here. Due to paralysis, you are only capable of displacing air. So it's a good time to talk about other things. Spyro Reignited, the remake of Spyro 1, 2, and 3 is coming out. Really looking forward to that. It's kind of sad we're never going to see a new Space Quest. Obviously, there is the kickstarted Space Venture, but with the re-release, or the remake, not remakes, but the return of Sierra and their King's Quest series, I was really hoping that we would get Space Quest, Police Quest back. But with how that seems to have gone, the whole like Activision not advertising it very well, I don't think it did very well commercially either. It seems pretty likely that that's dead in the water again, so we won't get another King's Quest or anything else. Fortunately, the paralysis wears off and you seem to be back to normal. That's how long you've got to wait. I'd say it's about 2 or 3 minutes. It's not very long. But it is your hint on how to do that. So this is everyone's favorite scene in a video game. This is the best scene in a Sierra video game. Good, you've succeeded in establishing contact with one of this planet's life forms, and it looks like you'll get to examine it up close and personal. The giant root-looking thing is giving you a guided tour of its digestive system. What you experience next is too horrible to describe. Well, let's just say that you die as a result. You are dead. Trust me. It may please you to know that during the night, you didn't digest well. For a while, gastric distress made it extremely unpopular with the other root monsters. It's kind of funny in Australian, since roots to make sweet, sweet love to someone. You're in another clearing in the forest. This one seems to be occupied by a type of growth you are not familiar with. You can see a little guy across the clearing picking some sort of berries from a bush. It appears to be some kind of overdeveloped root. There is a pulsating growth near the middle, which is connected to several meters of root-like appendages. Alright, so I don't have a numpad on my keyboard, so hopefully I can pull this off. Up. I can't if I press up instead of down. Nope. I got 1 pixel too close there. Nope. I'm really good at the King's Quest 3 mountain. I can do that really well. But the root monster is a diabolical beast of bullshit. It's not just pixel perfect. Like, you've got to be pixels away from like the sides, or you just get taken. It is what is known as unfair in the gaming world. I think that's fair to say. And whichever one of them it was that designed this, bloody hell, Scott or Mark should be ashamed. Not really. They're really good people probably, but this is no fun, as one can say. Oh, come on. Nope. Went too far that way. It can have a friend from somewhere else. I don't want to be its friend. It can piss off. I speak as an Australian who's very used. That's a cool little animation that he ducks. It's a short Roger Wilco. He's squished. The berries hanging on the bush look quite juicy and smell very pungent. Alright, let's take berry. Rapid taking. You snag some of the odoriferous red berries. Eat berry. You get them near your mouth and notice the pungent scent. Wisely, you change your mind. Eat them, Roger. What if I just walk into the root monster? Well, at least I didn't even have to walk for that meal. That was Roger's Uber Eats career in one go. Oh. I knew I'd done it wrong straight away. Roger Wilco, hand-delivering himself to root monsters the world over. Like, why can't he just jump? Like, he could just jump over the root, right? Alexander can jump. And he was a slave. Roger's a janitor. Surely he's had to jump over, like, vomit before. Come on. This is the hardest bit. Nope. Because both of the, like, these corners... Ah. They don't want you going around. Diagonals do. I could, like, actually fix it and put the diagonals on my keyboard, but I'm lazy and I don't want to. But it's by far the hardest bit of this entire maze. Mostly because the death zone extends out from those edges. It's not fair. You're not actually avoiding the right pixel. You're avoiding extra pixels. Right, come on. Come on. There we go. Oh, boy. Should save. Should save. Don't want to... It's more than just turning numlock off. I don't have... There's no numpad here. See? There's my numpad. So I'd have to go into the DOSBox config and actually bind them to other keys. Which I've done before for, like, King's Quest 3. But I knew I could do that. It would just take a little bit of time, so. This is a death I didn't know about until, Trolls showed it in a video. This is as uncool can be. It looks like you've adhered yourself to this tree like a fly to flypaper. And speaking of insects, here comes a swarm now. I had no reason to ever try climbing one of these trees. You hear something. It sounds not unlike the hovercraft you wrecked in. Don't think that's a problem, game. You'll be proud to know that you have filled today's nutritional requirements for many of the local carnivorous insects. Adventuring is not always pretty. Thanks for playing. You've been very entertaining. Look, I don't know why that death's in there. Why is the only, like, you can type climb tree to die. That's the only reason it's there. Oh, it's coming. I'm gonna hide here. Phew, that was a tense moment. Vohol's thug failed to spot you and is off to search elsewhere. For fun, yeah, I suppose. I suppose. If this is another clearing in the otherwise heavily wooded area of the forest, there is a plateau near the back. The mailbox looks typical for a mailbox. There is a slot, a tray, and a sign. The sign says, Radical Express, when it totally no doubt for sure has to be there a while previously. You drop the order form into the box. We will take a beach path. The mailbox hums and buzzes for a while, then an object of some sort drops into the tray at the base of the box. The machine goes silent. The tray is actually a small indentation in the lower part of the machine. It is currently bearing what looks to be a whistle. Okay. Always test whistles. It's very important. Nothing to worry about testing the whistle here. I thought you'd die. I guess you can just use the whistle everywhere. Oh, look, there's the creature. You see a small fleshy being. He seems to be in a hurry to leave. I think if you look at him fast enough, you see that he's rubbing the berries on himself. No, not Reb. Yeah, rub it in, Roger. You rub the berries all over your body. As lubricant. You now smell like a walking ammonia inhalant. Yuck. I think Roger's the berry rubbing enthusiast. That's what gets him off. Oh no. You feel something slimy clamp down on your leg and almost as suddenly spit you back out. You distinctly hear the sounds of aquatic gagging and retching. Evidently, you had a bad aftertaste from the berries. Can anyone say Star Wars? I can. You have stepped into a deeper area of the swamp. You are forced to swim. This bit is la bullshit. Oh, hang on. I pressed up. Let's go for a quick swim. We're taking the beach path right now. You can't go on. You do not have enough oxygen in your lungs. You panic. The need for oxygen causes you to become irrational. Your desire for air causes you to inhale large quantities of water, which results in suffocation. Another senseless tragedy. You can help prevent this. Vote yes on lobotomies for adventure game designers. Thank you for playing Space Quest 2. Roger Wilco. You've been most entertaining. So, yeah. You take a deep breath, filling your lungs to near bursting, and head for the depths below. This is no fair. That's no cool. I do like his swimming animation, though. Lovely art. Pity about the puzzle design. Oh, look, it's a very important item that'll become super important in Space Quest 3. You're in a small grotto below the swamp. A strange light dances off the walls of this cave. Its origin, a glowing gem situated on top of a boulder. You take the glowing gem. The glowing gem provides a gentle illumination. It's not even you have to take a breath. You have to take a deep breath. It doesn't even recognize breath, so deep breath is a single part of the parser. Which brings to mind the Leisure Suit Larry 3 ending of, like, you can't throw bag, you gotta throw vomit bag. Mysteriously, it does remain lit. Could they even have done a change? If the text box filled up the like enough of the screen so you couldn't see the cave wall anymore, I assume that they could do a room change on that, and then you could change the lighting. Once again, you wisely take in a load of air and head below. Yeah, wisely my butt. I don't know too much about how the AGI engine actually works, and that would obviously take a lot of... Like, you'd have to redraw the room, that's an extra small amount of size on the disc. But I suppose they could actually do it. You've gotten out of the deep spot and are back on your soggy feet. Too bad I have to go this way. What? Splodge, 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 splodge. So here's the beach. We have travelled the beach path. Something that Space Quest Historian could not do, but I can. You're at the east end of the swamp area. Forest extends to the east. So when I first saw this scene, I did this. I'll come over here and I'll type. Oh. You smoothly step off the edge of the fissure. Gravity has its way with you and you are sucked to the depths of the fissure at the very high rate of speed. Needless to say, you hit the bottom and your mortal remains are redimensioned to the point where life is no longer an option. Will you never learn? Because to my eyes, the first time I saw this scene, I'll use my little mouse pointer. It's not very visible, but I thought this was a cliff wall going up from here. So that you'd walk up and you'd climb up the cliff and you'd be up here. It didn't make sense to my brain that this was a gap until after I'd fallen off of it. And then my brain was like, oh, yeah, that does look like a gap. You're in a lightly forested area. A large fissure nearby seems to lead straight down. This tree is dead. The bark must have fallen off years ago. It bears no foliage. That would advance the game in no way. I think it's climb tree. The tree is dead and seems to be free of the slick secretions some of the others generate. You begin to shinny your way up the snag. I don't think that's right. I think it's shimmy. Crack! Oof! Holy log jams, Batman. You almost ate the big one. So because I'd never found the death where you climb the tree and it's sticky, the fact that that was telling me that trees are sticky made no sense to me. I was like, okay, trees are sticky, I guess. You can't catch me. I'm the Roger Wilco. Oh. Yikes, you've been snared, suspended above the ground. You are unable to move freely. This is unfortunate. Not right now. You got nothing else to do, Roger. You might as well look. After a while, the cerebral fireworks begin. Capillaries begin to burst under the strain. You pass out. Once again, time passes. That would have been nice. In King's Quest 3, when you're hung upside down above the fireplace, you get this like red line that goes up the face to show that you're passing out from blood loss. And then some more time passes. That would have been a good time to do the same trick. I don't know which one came first. While unconscious, you have the strangest of dreams. You imagine that your name is Larry. You're wearing something known as a leisure suit, apparently made of 100% synthetic materials and proven to generate large amounts of static electricity. While prowling a locale known as the Land of the Lounge Lizards, you spend your time badgering women of the area to participate in bizarre mating rituals such as... Just then, consciousness begins to creep in. Your head begins to clear, and you realize you are being imprisoned. Your captor appears to be that large oaf sitting near the fire. That's a pretty nice... a pretty nice reference, I suppose, to Leisure Suit Larry. It's better than the King's Quest ones. It fits more into the game. I guess they preferred L-Lo to Roberta. You're in a well-hidden clearing. It is surrounded on three sides by large, smooth rock formations with brush to the north. A cage is below one of the formations. You are currently in it. In the center, a campfire burns. One has to wonder about the purpose of a fire during a warm day such as this. A rope sits on one of the boulders. A large beast is nearby. He thinks he's going to be cooked alive. So we already saved here, I'm pretty sure. So let's throw the spore. Upon impact with the ground, the spore opens and spews its dust into the air. The hunter falls to the ground paralyzed. Problem solved. Now we can just gnaw at the bars. I don't understand gnaw. Chew on rope. I don't understand chew. Bite. Oh, you have caused the guard to be paralyzed. I don't think he's too pleased with you. I mean, looks the same. Pow! The hunter has decided it's a perfect day for a barbecue. As he slowly turns you over the fire, you begin to turn a beautiful golden brown. Death follows at an agonizingly long distance. I prefer my janitors just medium. A little bit more cooked. You got to be careful with janitor. They're covered in crap. My son laughed at that one. The door is locked. The hunter seems to ignore you. I don't understand, Mum. Aww. The hunter stands and takes a long look in your direction. His face, though strange in its own right, bears an expression one might see on a freak show patron. He moves closer. Upon impact with the ground, the spore opens and spews its dust into the air. The hunter falls to the ground paralyzed. The hunter is lying on the ground unable to move. It looks as though the spore proved quite effective in this instance. Nope. Nope. You search the large, not to mention uncleansed, body of the hunter. You find a key which might unlock the cage. Other than that, you find only a few assorted parasites clinging to him. Oh, I gotta take the key, do I? You reach through the bars and take possession of the key. That is not currently... You slip the key into the lock and give it a turn. The lock snaps open. You open the cage door. This is taking a long time. You grab the rope. If I save here... What if I just hang around? Nope. Can I walk into the fire? Nope. There are flames dancing above the embers of the fire. Like, I'm wondering if he's going to wake up if I just hang around here enough. Because I'm not sure. I don't know why I'm calling him guard. Because he's clearly a hunter. But the word guard worked. I don't know why now that you mention it. It's a bit odd. What is he guarding exactly? That the game recognizes him as guard. That's a bloody good pun. His meal is on the lamb. He doesn't seem to be waking up. I was really hoping if I just like hung around long enough, he'd wake up and like chase me down. But maybe because I've escaped, like it won't let him get up. Because he probably isn't programmed to actually like track and move to you. So, yeah. I bet if I leave and come back, though. Oh, he's not... Wait. Okay. Guess he left on his own. Hello! Drats, Vohol's troops have tracked you down and passed sentence for your escape. Tough luck, eh? It's pretty funny. I guess he just can't wake up, which is sad. Just gonna... I'll get there! Whee! Way to go, Pathfinder, as you plunge toward the base of the cliff. Mummy escapes your lips. Does Roger even know who his mummy is? That's a bit rude. I assume that Roger has, like, loving parents. I shouldn't be mean to Roger. I don't think he's an orphan or anything like that, but yeah. Can you imagine the letters he writes home to his mum and dad? Actually, let's save. There's some funny deaths here. I like this one. Whoop! You reach the end of the rope. This has negative effect on your resistance to the urging of gravity. That's a good one. I also just press F6. Your timing causes you to jump when the rope is at its least helpful point. Gravity beckons. Due to the unyielding nature of solid ground, especially when struck from 50 meters, you now bear the dimensions of a manhole cover. The other person who can love Roger is named Stella Santiago. Bam, bam, baby. Another senseless tragedy. Whoop. Okay, so just pressing right also causes you to fall. Swing rope. Come on, Roger, you can make it. Just swing faster, my boy. Where in the world is Stella Santiago? She is trapped on... Oh, I can't remember what planet she's trapped on. So that's the point you press F6. Where in Roger Wilco... Yeah, where in Stella Santiago is Roger Wilco? He who hesitates is lost. You gave that guy one chance too many, and he seized the opportunity. Not to mention you. You were consumed in 2 quick bites. Would have been nice if that was animated, but I guess that would have got him a different kind of rating nowadays. I, for one, dread what that the original ending for Space Quest 6 would have been like with Josh Mandel. Like, how gross it would have been with all the body stuff that he researched. Da-da-da-da! So when he grabs at you, that's the time that you can jump across. Oh, it's dark in here. Well, we'll be fine. That's a nice effect. Him switching to this silhouette with the blue eyes. It's unfortunate you can't die. You take out the gem and hold it in your palm. The room is illuminated by its glow. You hear a small shriek and the sound of many footsteps moving away from you. Oh, maybe I could have died if I went up here, actually. You know, this game isn't the worst game Sierra ever made, so it deserves some level of politeness. There we go, there we go. You hear the sound of many small scratchy footsteps moving towards you. Ow! Gnash! Growl! Crunch! Snap! Snap, crackle, and pop. Never sounded so gross. You've just been felled by a killer cave beaver. You now know the meaning of excruciating when used in reference to level of pain. Oh, apparently it's fine where it is. It wasn't really, so, you know. The ground below your feet disappears. You tumble down through the darkness. So if you get here without rescuing the little guy at the start, these people are hostile to you no matter what. There was a rather spectacular entrance. All systems seem to be intact, though. And there's no way to get back. It's rather hard to get the cave beaver, because you've got to like wiggle around in the dark to get above it, to get there. I'll expect a thank you in your video of that, by the way. The dwellers mumble something. The translator responds with, "Follow us, Beanpole!" They hurry away. They're talking to you, Space Quest Historian. Follow him, Beanpole. Oh, piss off. I'm never streaming... Well, actually, no, I probably will. I probably will at some point actually stream Police Quest 4. With massive warnings about, like, content. Because that game is disgusting and gross. Welcome to our canyon. You look to be from out of town. On behalf of all of us, I would like to thank you for saving our compadre from the hunters. You are welcome to stay in the canyon as long as you like. When you are ready to leave, simply say the word and my assistant will show you the only way out for a being of your size. When you leave, however, we must seal the exit behind you for our own protection. Goodbye, and good luck. Well, I think I'm just going to stay here now. I mean, this place looks lovely. It's my kind of town, so I'm living here now. You're at the south end of the gorge bottom. There are more odd rock formations here. There are still more of those little pink folks. Don't understand pink. Yeah, you wouldn't. I don't know if, like, slang is... Yeah, slang might be the right word. I just tried to drink the bottle with a lid on. This translator is apparently a lot better than the one in Space Quest 1, because this one doesn't run out of batteries. Okay, I want to leave. Apparently it's say the... I was hoping it'd just be say leave, but I guess it's say the word. It's a bit weird. Can you die by going at this the wrong way? No. Well, that's unfortunate. You do not... Oh, I didn't pick the gem up. Actually, that's good. That's good. Can I even do anything in here without the gem? No, you don't adjust your monitor. We have taken control. There is no light source in the vicinity. You couldn't see guano if it was pasted to your proboscis. So it's not going to kill me. It's just going to leave me here, I suppose. I was hoping for a funny death of, like, the cave squid just getting you in the dark. But I guess not. Instead, we're going to have to go back here to this, hidden gem. There you go. I've said something nasty about this game. That's no fair. You're putting a green gem on green floor, and you've purposely made sure it looks like the little green dots on there. Say bye to the nutsacks. Ah, better. Not a great deal better, but better. So yeah, this place is bullshit. This place is super bullshit. And screw you for putting this in your video game, Sierra. I don't know who ordered it or who designed it, but you're bad. You're bad people, you're bad. A maze where you can only see a tiny part of the screen sucks horribly. I actually know pretty well how to get out of here. I'm looking for the cave squid at the moment. Just to be clear, you know, I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to kill myself at the moment. Nope, not far enough. That much might be the right way. I'll give you that. It is an effective sequence of terror. It's still a maze though, and screw you and screw your maze. I know nothing about this, like how AGI does this glow effect. Yeah. Are they flashing between like two different rooms or something? Like a blue room and a green room to cause that effect? Or is it something else? I know very little about how the engine actually works, so... and I don't think you mentioned it in your video, so... This is, you know, your fault that I'm not educated. I was pretty sure I knew where I was going, but... So far, every direction I've gone has been a dead end. And the cave squid hasn't gotten me. I'm kind of annoyed. That's the way I came in. Go down here. She can't go up. Yeah. Interesting. I found the right path now. Here we go. I'm pretty sure the cave squid will get me over in this direction. Go this way to the left, and then we'll turn around and come back, and we'll be cave squidded. Oh my, now you know why they wanted to close the hole behind you. You have become the unwilling victim of the dreaded cave squid. Tough luck. It's very interesting they used a bug. You can actually see him, the different colorations. There we go. There's like a non-illuminated one. There's a completely blue one. And a completely... So it looks like there's like 3. There's a completely green one. There's a green one with blue. And then there's an all blue one. So that's pretty cool. I'll give it credit for being technically well done. I'll give it 0 credit for being a maze. And I hate all of this. It's bad and it should feel bad. Gotta go down and to the left, I believe, here. And down some more. And to the right. Well, that just took me to the same spot, so it was more to the left. Nope. There we go. And then more down. Nope. So much for me knowing the way. I was bragging about it, and now I'm lost. This isn't the Lytton town map. If it was the Lytton town map, I could get you where you wanted to go. But this is the Labian cave maze, and I hate it. But I'm pretty sure we're about to get to the end. Yep. You have an opportunity to stand and spare your tender knees. The crystal clear water gives off a gentle glow. In abundance, it is able to light the room. You take the glowing gem from between your aching jaws. You notice it's overly moist as you slip it into your pocket. What has been in my mouth. This place is amazing. Beautiful subterranean waterfalls and cascades drop before you, filling the air with billions and billions of tiny misty droplets, which tickle the cilia. The air is thick with a revitalizing, humid freshness. This message is also getting a little thick. Cilia, is that like your... Why are you there? Standing over me. You're creeping me out, boy.
Is this better?
No. Cilia, is that your nasal hairs or your ear hairs or something? I think it is. The water is clear except for a very slight cloudiness. It appears to be luminous. In fact, the water's soft glow seems to be providing the light here. Well, let's go for a swim.
Swimmy, swimmy, swim.
We gotta wash off the, this is better than a shower massage. I didn't know about that. I've never done that before.
What, looking at a rock?
No, walking into the waterfall.
I know, but he said it when he was facing a rock.
You be facing a rock. Why is GOG flashing at me? What are you trying to tell me, GOG Galaxy? Apparently, GOG was flashing at me in the corner because a game on my wish list is on sale. It's a bit annoying, GOG. I don't care. Left or right, James? Pick left.
Left.
Good boy. We shall go left. The child is picked. You are in another chamber of the underground river. This area seems to be a little more alive, with sights and sounds of falling water. However, you don't detect much noise at all coming from the back of the cave. I'm sure I'll be fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Ah!
I'm sure I'm fine. Splat. I'm really sure I'm fine. After carooming off a pair of rock outcroppings, you find a final resting place at the base of the falls. I have no idea what that word means. Carooming. Carooning's one I know. Careening. Way to go, Wingnut. Right, now that we're not going to listen to my child and his bullshit of going left,
Let's go right.
now it is time for you to go to sleep, James. It's 9 o'clock. Off you go.
Let's go right. Right.
As you enter another of the mysterious subterranean chambers, you realize that the water is now racing toward a giant whirlpool in the middle of the area. You are caught in the strong current, powerless to alter your course. Oh, I can't even spell whirlpool fast enough. I'm not going to bother. Whee! Whee, wee, 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 wee. Your body is sucked down, hoi hoi, until finally you're able to resist no more and must yield to the overwhelming force. Splish. Geez, that was quite a trip. Peering around you, you find yourself back in the open again. You're in a pool. It is fed by a waterfall which spews from a strange rock face. An actual face, an ugly one at that, is carved into the rock. It must be hundreds of years old. It's sludge after a night on the booze. So we're trapped in this room. You're in a little clearing which is surrounded by large boulders and an impenetrable bush. There is water in which you entered at the bottom left. You can just see a landing platform in the distance. So if you're missing the needed items, this room is a death trap. And I don't know what happens if you don't have them. I don't think you'd get a death message. It'd just be like you get stuck here and spend ages walking into all the walls and that. Can you stay in the water? You give the whistle a toot. It makes an odd sound. You hear an incredible whirring and grinding sound coming from the north. Suddenly, a Labian terror beast buzzes into the room like a tornado, and he looks like he could do as much damage as one. It's the Tasmanian Devil. Prepare for lawsuits. I did not know you could do this either. So he can't cross into the water. He's trying to get me. What if I go this way? And then come back? So that's a solution to the puzzle I didn't know you could do. That removes one of the dead ends of the game. Because the Rubik's Cube is... Or Cubik's Rube. You might not have grabbed that. And I think there's a way of doing the next puzzle without the jockstrap, isn't there? And if there is, that would mean that you could avoid this death trap completely. As long as you've got the whistle. You chuck the Cubik's Rube really close to dying. That's pixels away. Over to the beast. The beast appears interested in your offering. Curiosity gets the better of him as he reaches down for it. He seems quite perplexed by the puzzling plastic polyhedron. That does not compute. Come on. You know, no Sierra game lets you kiss things properly. Colonel's Bequest, I tried kissing all of the dead bodies, and that didn't work. King's Quest 3, I tried kissing all of the animals and Manananan, and that didn't work. I will type that in now. Beasts gonads. Let's get scientific here. Oh, he doesn't understand beasts, even though we're at beasts with an apostrophe. The short Roger's back. You pick up a small rock generated during the Terror Beast's grand entrance. I haven't even looked at the beast. Boy, he certainly seems interested in that puzzle. Does he seem interested in a lawsuit? I mean, that's clearly a Tasmanian Devil. I guess that was far enough away that they couldn't get in trouble for it. But Space Quest really did push the barriers. We had the Toys R Us, ZZ Top. He's the Tasmanian Devil. It's no wonder Sierra got angry at them. Hello, guard. Please take me away. Oh! Dang, allowing the guard to observe you was not very swift. He has disassembled you, probably adding a little excitement to his otherwise dull day. Can you make that without him seeing you? Oh, he saw me there. Hang on. Nope. How did I do it without him seeing me? Alright, he's not looking now. Can I make it to the door before he turns around? It looks like you can. That doesn't seem to be the correct course of action, yeah, so I don't think I can get through there. And it's a pretty tight run thing. And these guys are clearly meant to look like the apes from Planet of the Apes as well. So there's quite a few things in these early Space Quest games that are pretty clearly from other... He's going to come back. And you can see me there. I want to do it because it sounds cool. Oh. You send the stone flying into the bushes. It really didn't understand Chuck Rock. You hear it land. He's coming. There we go. Hey, what the heck's the deal here? As the guard wanders, the elevator begins moving you upward. So that's pretty cool. Not Puck Ruck. That act would lack any serious gratification. Wait, I don't actually know how to use the rock and the jockstrap now. I've forgotten the command. I'm saying if sling works. It does. With the guard being out of your line of sight, the rock sails harmlessly into the brush. I assume I can just go get another rock. Oh, there's only a pile of dust left. That's unfair. You cleverly use the athletic supporter to sling the rock at the guard. It makes serious contact with the side of his head. We like the way you think. He drops like a lead parakeet. The right thud of impact is momentarily sickening. He is perfectly still. Hello, my cat. I don't know if you heard Manna. He was meowing for attention. Searching more bodies. You find a small, thin magnetic card. It looks like a key card. You seem to recall seeing one somewhere in the past. In Space Quest 1. We used a lot of key cards in Space Quest 1. The elevator is nothing spectacular to look at. On the left side is a thin slot. Say what? You slide the keycard into the slot, then remove it. Hoi hoi. As soon as the elevator door closes behind you, the platform on which you rest begins to rise. I didn't know you could get one from the beginning guards. Fun thing to do. After surviving to this point, you are still prone to acts typically of the mentally absent. That's a bit rude. Mentally absent. It looks just like the shuttle that brought you here. You recall from when you landed, the entry hatch being on the rear left of the shuttle. You'll have to move a little. Oh. Thought I was at the rear left. What's going on here? That's the rear right. That's confusing. What's wrong, Mana? Come here. Come here. You're gonna meow at me? Come here. I don't know if you can actually see him. Well, you can. The big ass kitty meowing at me, but he won't come over. He's being a shithead. Come on, you want me to follow you? You gotta come over here. Okay, well I'm gonna go back to ignoring you. You are inside a shuttle cockpit. Oi oi. There is an instrument panel before you, and between your legs is a throttle. You can see the local treetops. He is looking for something. Everything looks automatic. The panel is loaded with clusters of system statuses. There is a power button, an attitude dial, and an ascent thruster button. Beep. The attitude dial sets throttle control to either VAC, vertical attitude control, or HAC, horizontal attitude control. It is currently set to HAC. There is no horizontal control until minimum attitude has been achieved. What was the other one? Look. Button. The ascent button is merely of the push type. The shuttle begins to vibrate as the ascent thrusters ignite. Aww. The attitude dial is now set to VAC. No! I didn't want to go down. Go backwards. I broke the cutscene. Because you are terminally weak above the shoulders, you guide the ship into the ground. Thanks for playing. You've been very entertaining. Oh, I was hoping to kill myself again. There's a bit of lag. Ascent is already in progress. You're off the planet. Good work, Roger Wilco. I still look like I am on the planet. A tone sounds. A soft synthesized voice notes that adequate altitude has been achieved. Ascent thrusters are now ineffective. The monitor draws your attention again. Minimum altitude achieved. Attitude system vertical control. Forward, descend. Back, ascend. The attitude control is now set to HAC. Away we go, people. We've escaped from Labion. The game is over. In just over an hour, I have beaten the entirety of Space Quest 2. I am the world's best Sierra player. You can thank me tomorrow, and have a good night. I was kind of hoping that the next bit would happen, like, right as I finished that, but it didn't quite work. The screens are suddenly splashed with an incredibly horrible image of Sludge Vohol. Hello, Roger. I can't even do the voice anymore. Hello, Roger Wilco. I've been waiting for you. Once again, my subordinates have failed me. Anyway, it looks like you'll be visiting me again soon. Don't bother trying to pilot the vehicle. I have taken control. You will be arriving at my command post shortly. I anxiously await your arrival. He closes with a chilling laugh. His image is frozen on the screens. The ship changes course as if it had life of its own. All you can do is hang on. How does Roger ever know how to fly these ships? As Vohol stated, nothing works. You feel the ship bank. Bank this, baby! Through the window, you see your apparent destination, Vohol's asteroid. I was really hoping to get a good wanking motion going there. Once again, some lovely art. It's a pity about the rest of it, isn't it? So we have 3 directions. A massive bay doors meet, jarring the entire vehicle bay. As you step down, the shuttle door slams shut behind you. You are quite surprised not to find several of Vohol's guards waiting to greet you. You begin to ponder what the Twisted Scientist might have in store for you. Well, basically, he loves us, and he doesn't think we'd do anything like this. It's a short step to the end of the game for you. You're no Buddy Ebs... I don't know who Buddy Ebsen is. No fucking clue. Well, let's go down. Down seems to be the correct way to go. Nothing can... The door behind you closes solidly. A barrier springs up before you. Another barrier stands in your way. You feel the floor shift below you. It's moving to the left. Well, I'm sure this will work itself out. This is totally going to be fine. No problems here. Oh, I think there's a problem. Yeah, just a small one. Imagine if you will, taking a bath in sulfuric acid and using pumice for a washcloth. After that bit of displeasure passes, it gets much worse as the acid slowly eats its way to the last critical organs. Finally, mercifully, death takes you. I assume that Buddy Ebsen then was good on his feet and wouldn't just walk off the edge of a building. Unless that's how he died in 2003. The buttons look ordinary. Each button has a word next to it. In order, they are 1, 3, 4, and 5. Where did 2 go? You're the Space Quest historian. Where's level 2? You have the funny feeling you're being watched. I mean, it could be the security camera that's clearly watching me, but I don't think so. It's probably something else. Definitely not the security camera. That actually makes sense, that level 1 and 2 are the same space. I'll give you that. Okay. Buddy Ebsen should have watched his feet a little bit better so he didn't fall into that acid. Aha! You know a janitorial closet when you smell one. Almost at once you sense an emptiness, a melancholy longing. You begin to feel homesick. It's quite dark in here. However, you do find a plunger. Okay, is there the glass cutter in here? Yeah, so there's no glass cutter, it's just a plunger. I did try using the glass cutter, which I think pretty sure is an item, on the windows of the asteroid. I was hoping for a really cool death of like you cutting the glass and then Roger gets sucked out, but it was not to be. It was not to be at all, and I'm very depressed and upset about this. Someone should contact Scott Murphy and Mark Crow in the 1980s and tell them to redesign their game. I'm not terrified of the floor scrubber like you. I know how to deal with floor scrubbers. It's quite dark in here. On the floor you notice a glass cutter. I knew it was an item. I was pretty near one. Infamous Quest should really get on top of that. Space Quest 2 VGA Remake Part 2 Glass Cutter Death. Your urge is more serious than that. Have some decency, man. Close the door. Oh. You slide your uniform pants down and settle onto the cool ring. You might go through whatever motions you You go through whatever motions might be normal for you during this act. Refreshed, you grab your pants and compose yourself. Wait, there's a death with a lighter? Why? No one else has, and it would probably be risky to attempt without a flotation device handy. Okay. Is the lighter on the next floor? Because if it is, I will totally go to the next floor and get the lighter. And then come back. Oh, it's going to be like a gas explosion. I hope it is. Avoid this guy. He likes hitting people. He's rude. Oh. Oh no, one of the cells is opening. Who knows what unspeakable horror waits behind these steel bars? Nope. I was hoping to get away. We better go into the left. I hope I'm not disappointed. I might as well get the glass cut. No, I'm just doing this for a death, so... Wait. If it's nothing to do with the toilet paper, I should probably just do it from this one. I'm being silly. That's what I get for playing late at night. The floor scrubber! It's coming for me. It knows where I live. It's coming for me! Risky business. I don't know why everyone's scared of that. That's like the easiest death to avoid in this game. It's a funny death, but it's really easy to avoid. It's quite dark in here. There is a small wastebasket on the floor. Next to it is a pair of crusty work overalls. Take the basket. Aren't you amazed by how much stuff an adventure game hero can carry? You just got to know how to pack. You are attired in the smart-looking uniform of the Xenon Orbital Station employee. Never tried that before. I was meaning to look at the overalls. They're wadded up on the floor. Okay, can I take them? You pick up the overalls. They are small and quite worn out, not to mention filthy, and of no use to you. You toss them back on the floor. As you set them down, something falls to the floor. There is a lighter. Aha. Ha 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 ha. But they're not faster than you. So as long as you're far enough ahead of them, you definitely can reach the elevator. They move at a slightly slower speed, or at the same speed as you. So if you've got the lead, you're fine. I would like... Oh, here we go. I'm going to show off this death now. Get me, floor scrubber! It's right in his face. It's coming back for a second attempt! It looks like you have been formally introduced to the floor waxer. You now consist of a very thin yet glossy floor covering. Too bad. You seem to be making relatively good progress. Haha, you can't get me. Woohoo, woohoo! Oh, damn it. I played my risky game and I lost. Ah, you can't get me. And I shall run ahead of you and be safe. You know, if I played this when I was a kid, I might have spent ages trying to jump over them as well. And being really angry and frustrated. Since I played this first as an adult, well, Roger Wilco, I guess you'll be paying methane a little more respect in the future. If Mr. Science were here, he would have explained that open flame and high concentrations of methane gas don't mix. Since you're dead, you'd best get to restoring. Thanks for playing, you've been very entertaining. That kaboom reminds me of the kaboom at a Police Quest 2. Which I can't really show here. But it looks very similar to the... Because there's a methane explosion in Police Quest 2 as well. And that's much later than this. So I wonder if they're related, like, art-wise. Mark Crow did work on both, I'm pretty sure. It looks like the kaboom you get for doing the methane explosion in the sewers and for failing to save the plane from the bomb. And if it is a recycle, good on them. I mean, that's what you know, that's how you save money. Oh. I was using the wrong command anyway, so it doesn't matter. I noticed right at the end, but it didn't matter. So I think it's stick plunger, not whatever I said. But I did notice. Using formerly uncharacteristic creativity, you apply the suction cup-like plunger to the smooth metal finish and hang on for dear life. Once a janitor, always a janitor. I don't know what being a janitor's got to do with this, but alright. I guess he's just used to sticking plungers on things. You release your grip and drop back down. Hey, we're safe now. Definitely nothing that can hurt us this time. Nope. Hello, my new friend. You have made the mistake of getting within what looks to be cattle prod's length of the metal menace. An electrical contact connected to an extension arm reaches from its body and makes contact with you. That's when you begin feeling the intense burst of electrical current pulsing through your body. You quickly black out. The plunger was destroyed in a molecular accident as it was pulled back up. As you can see, you amount to little more than a hill of laser-fried beans. You've come a long way, only to be torched. Keep up the fine work. Wait, is it on the next scene I've got to do it? I thought you had to put the basket on the floor here. I think I've got to put the paper in there first, and that's why. Fire! 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 While receiving a nice hosing yourself, the basket fire is extinguished. Seconds later, a loud series of pops is followed by the smell of fried electronics. The sprinklers sense accomplishment and cease operation. They sense you've done the right thing, and they're like, your fire and subsequent shower seems to have shorted out the burnished bullies. Fire. TP for my bunghole. You have just entered Volhol's secret chamber. The evil one himself is seated before a large console, high on a platform in the center of the room. Standing obliviously ready are many of the dreaded salesman's clones. Oh, don't want to do a... Nope. I want to do a save. Okay, so this is one of my favorite deaths. So, Roger Wilco, we meet again. I must say I'm quite impressed with your resourcefulness and tenacity. I'd love to chat, but I'm busy preparing the last of my salesman clones for their trip to Xenon. Feel free to stick around and observe the downfall of your civilization. So, this one, I really like this one. Well, Roger Wilco, you found one more way to snatch humiliation from the jaws of heroism. That's a good death. That's a good Sierra death right there. You know, that's perfect. Going somewhere? I walked off the edge of the stairs. As soon as you step on the platform, you're struck by a beam of light emitted from a unit in the ceiling. In a matter of seconds, you are broken down into microparticles and extracted from the air. Beep, 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 beep. Again, the beam strikes, this time blasting into a glass jar on the console. It is there that you are molecularly reconstructed in a miniaturized form. I'm so tiny. Well, I'll be darned. My miniaturized beam does work, Volhol's voice booms. In the old days, I'd test these things on myself, but as you may have noticed by my appearance, being my only guinea pig has its disadvantages. I guess this will keep you out of my way once and for all. You'll have a nice conversation piece, and that Vohol turns away to put finishing touches on Xenon's fate. The newly cut pane of glass falls to the counter. Apparently, Vohol doesn't notice. Did I get glass? It's big, heavy, and quite content on the counter. I was hoping to cut myself and have like a Space Quest 3 death where he bleeds to death. You know for a fact that less weight does not equal less pain at the onset of deceleration trauma. You've come so far only to die in a dumb way. What a geek. That's rude. I'm not a geek. I'm a nerd. Darn, Roger Wilco, I guess his lardness got a little fed up with your meddling. You've been redesigned once again, revealing a permanent overhead view. You resemble one of those wonderfully colourful mosaics commonly found on windshields. So there's kind of a hidden way to go here. You're on the surface of a console. A large, compared to you, jar sits in the middle. A hole has been cut in the side. There are some vents near the back. As you turn your attention to the vent, you notice it to be quite dark. You hear a rhythmic hum of some sort of mechanical device and something that sounds like industrial strength breathing. It might be coming from the vent. You wiggle your slim carcass through the vent. A carcass is for like dead people, I'm pretty sure. Judging from those two hoses coming in from outside, you guess that this is the inner workings of Vohol's life support system. A respirator pumps oxygen into his lungs, while a pump on the back wall forces blood through filters. There is also a sign on the back wall. The sign says, "Caution, press button for emergency shutoff." Who can ever see in here to see that? Also, that's a bit weird. Aren't these meant to be the light reflecting from outside? What are they reflecting off? If this is moving up and down, wouldn't they move up and like, sort of, you know, the top one would disappear? Way to go, Roger Wilco. You've just disconnected Vohol's life support system. He's a goner without it. Yeah, way to go, Roger. You've just killed a disabled person. You can see Vohol struggling to take his last few breaths. Not you again, you think you have won. Oh, sorry. Not you again. You think you have won? He wheezes. But all you have done is seal your own fate. He reaches up and flips a switch on the far end of the console before dropping to the floor. Dead. Dun, 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 dun. Just walk on the keyboard like a prick. Actually, hang on. I was looking for a pull lever. There we go. Reduce or enlarge. Press E. Just your typical keyboard. Keys are normal letters on them. I actually forgotten what button to type here. I thought you had to stand on E. Apparently get closer. And that would be E. That's probably, you know, that's it. I'm just dumb. Begin sequence has begun. Sequence begin has. Gotta go back into the thing now. That solution to that puzzle completely slipped my mind. And I don't know why. I was trying to do it, just not right, apparently. You are once again reconstituted. This time to the correct size. You notice that the clones are gone. Vohol's dead hulking slab of flesh is loosely arranged at the base of the chair. An examination of his repulsively turgid fabric-encased mass reveals nothing other than the tubes which supplied him with blood and oxygen. You do notice the letters SHSR written in pen on the back of his left hand. The console is loaded with indicator lights, except one on the left. The screens are filled with numbers, which would only make sense to Volhol. Most of the screens seem to be filled with meaningless numbers. The only one on the left is flashing. An eerie glow illuminates the large chamber. Through the massive window, you can see out into a deep space. Lighted consoles adorn the area behind Volhol's perch. Volhol's motionless mass is heaped closely or loosely at the base of his chair. Wait, I know there's like you got to use the computer, but now I've completely forgotten how to do everything in here. There we go. Let's add a type look screen in the right spot. General status, orbit decaying, prognosis, terminal, interior environment, okay, external temperature, critical. Be the normal external temperature, I'd assume. Auxiliary operations, clone launch, go. Launch countdown, really quick. To abort launch, enter code below. Alright, so let's F6. Hit save. Let's put on fastest, and then look screen. Oh! Bad news, Roger Wilco. The clone launch has progressed flawlessly. Life is now hopeless. Your civilization doomed. There is no need to go on. Thanks for playing. You've been very entertaining. So fastest got it there really quick. Clone launch abort. Abort granted. So yeah, if you don't do that, the clones kill everyone. Well, Roger Wilco, you found one more way to snatch humiliation from the jaws of heroism. This is a bit where I'm going to have to bind a key, aren't I? Is it Shift F1? I think it's Control Shift F1. Definitely going to have to bind some diagonals here. You add 9. Nope, that's not going to work. I've actually forgotten how to use this bloody thing. I probably could save scum my way up the stairs, but probably gonna have to. Nope. Helps if I'm paying attention to what I'm doing. It's gonna be easier than trying to work out how to use that binder, which I've now completely forgot how to use. There we go. Bloody hell. You're walking through a clear tubular passage which seems to wind in and out along the outer perimeter of the asteroid. There is a box mounted on the west end of this tube. Box! The box is actually an oxygen mask receptacle. It is currently closed. Who needs that? The Sierra games and their stairs are particularly harsh. I like that he gets smaller back here. He looks a bit weird back there. But it's nice to see him in a different sort of size. That's a clever trick they must have done to do that as well. Oh! A section of the glass tubing is fractured from combined stress. The pressurized atmosphere rushes for the relative vacuum of space. Due to the effect of the air rushing by you to get out the hole, the air in your lungs is sucked out and you find it impossible to get more. Hence you struggle, but die. You only had 226 points anyway. No big loss. That's pretty harsh. Oh, it didn't say once I got to the other side. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm super dumb. There we go. You open the box and noticing an oxygen mask, remove it and close the box. Right. Not going to screw this up that time. I remembered the whole saving thing. Space Quest 2 is pretty short. Now that I think about it. It took me a lot longer to beat King's Quest 3. I was hoping I could type it while I was choking to death, but I couldn't. Haha, I defeat you, game. A section of the glass tubing is fractured from combined stress. The pressurized atmosphere rushes for the relative vacuum of space. Fortunately, wearing the mask protects you from suffocation. Haha, game. I am the master. I am Immortan Joe. Toe cutter. No longer needing the mask, you remove it and stow it for later. Hello, camera. Phew. Well, we're back to the 40 minutes until Meltdown, a synthesized voice cheerfully announces. Well, I got plenty of time. I think it took me 4 hours to beat King's Quest 3. And it's only taken me a bit under 2 to beat this one, so... I always like that looks like a shortcut. It's a short step to the end of the game for you. You're no Buddy Epson. But you can't do that, obviously. That's not gonna work. What have I got? Oxygen mask, translator, keycard, cage key, glass cutter, glowing gem, whistle, lighter, and my supporter. I can't remember the rest of the game from here, so I'll have to see what the puzzles are and remember. Buddy Epson was a dancer, apparently. An actor and dancer. So he was sure on his feet. Unlike me, who dives off the edge full speed. So you have to, like, get around a robot or something here. You are somewhere. Okay. Rude. It's coming to get me. He's coming to get me. Ed 209 is coming to get me. Someone saw RoboCop before they made this game. Might as well let him kill me. Any curiosity you may have harbored regarding the menacing metallic pest will now be satisfied, as you have drawn too close. Your attention is attracted to a decal on the front of the machine. It says, the Vohol Marrow-Matic. This rouses your curiosity. But we already lost it all. Suddenly you note that each and every bone in your body feels as though it has been transformed into molten matter. Never slow to catch on, you notice that you are cooking from the inside out. Now this is a pain that lingers. Every drop of moisture is purged from your system by the intense heat of the internal barbecue. Your dehydration composition makes it impossible to continue. Better luck next time, Roger Wilco. 3 hours for a first-time player, I think would be way too short. This game has a lot of dead ends in it. But I'm under 2 hours at the moment. So unless I'm some sort of superhero, which I don't think I am when it comes to this game, Space Quest Historian would be much faster than I am at just beating it rapidly. I sort of wonder what the the average completion time is. That's the way we came in, so I don't want to press that button. See, I'd like if you could cut the glass to try and escape from here, but you can't. Unfortunate. Look, Ma, no hands! Ah! Alright, so, yeah. You just gotta rush up to that. As quickly as you can. He's bloody quick. There are large parts of King's Quest 3 where you're just waiting, so that does kind of make sense. I actually thought you had to rush around to the other side. And that let you get... Okay, that's really annoying. No, go away. Stop trying to robo-kill me. I don't think I'm missing anything. I really just thought you had to come at it from the right direction. Actually, what's... I think if I go from the... come in from the left side, that might work better. Maybe. Yes, that's nice, computer. Don't worry about that. We don't have to worry about the place exploding. We're fine. No danger here. There's only the danger of me not beating this game with full points. That's the only danger we're going to run into. Back to that sound effect. Isn't that lovely? You're going to hear that in your sleep. So if you've been bitten by the alien monster, this is about the point where it would hatch inside you and kill you. Ending your game with a game-ending situation. Which is rather unfortunate. Press button. Come on, come on. I really don't think I could do that far. Huh? I must be missing something here. There's no way you can do this faster. At least I don't think there is. I must be doing something wrong here. Which makes me feel dumb. Makes me feel really dumb. Nope, it just says you got to do it quickly. I love the Maromatic. I mean, it's Ed 209, but... I don't get what I'm doing wrong. Actually, hang on. Putting it on normal speed might help. 40 minutes remaining until this place explodes. Come on. Help me cheat, slow. It didn't help me cheat. How did I do that? I wasn't watching just then. Somehow I got past the Maramatic just by walking right. Oh, I'm loading the wrong one, I think. That's why. I'd be typing enter pod before the doors are even open though, but I guess I'll just be really quick on my typing for once. Alright. How quickly can I type enter pod? Not quickly enough that time. What? I'm literally standing on one. I have not had this much trouble with the end of the game in a long time. I really don't know why. Ah! I already did that. I went all the way around and came out the other side and he was still in the same spot. So, I don't know whether I just did it wrong. I'll try it again. I'll let him follow me. Both times I put enter pod in fast enough, it said that it's not a working pod. I was pretty sure I made him follow me all the way. Because he won't come any further than this. But maybe that I've done it this time. I went the other way last time. I went from the left to the... Or went from the right back to the left. So maybe now that I've gone from the left to the right, he'll actually be in a different spot. And I'll be able to sneak past him. Which does mean the walkthrough that I just checked is written wrong. Because that seemed to think that you just had to go to the west. Apparently that one's out of order. Upon entering the escape pod, you quickly take your seat. You are seated inside one of the emergency escape vehicles. Before you lies a control panel and a viewport. Through the viewport, you can see portions of the asteroid breaking up from the intense heat due to orbital decay. It is only a matter of time before you burn up with it. No, nothing to apologize for. It doesn't. This is a sort of forgettable ending. The only outstanding feature on the panel is the clearly marked launch button. Warning: emergency escape vehicle launch sequence has begun. Launch time: T-minus 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Phew, you're going to have to stop cutting these escapes so close, Roger Wilco. Well, you must feel pretty good right now. You stopped Vohal from carrying out his threat of salesman infestation, ultimately destroying the Twisted Scientist himself. I killed him. I murdered him. You also managed to save your own skin, and just look at that score. Pretty darn impressive. I missed 12 points, and I don't know where, and I feel bad. Suddenly, a warning signal draws your attention to the oxygen meter on the front panel. It reads low and dropping fast. This is just great. You know, it was all too good to be true. You have maybe 5 minutes of air left. Well, Roger Wilco, it was nice knowing you. Now you take the time to view the interior of the pod in more detail. You see a sleep chamber against one wall. The only outstanding feature is the oxygen meter. Okay. Pod. Alright, so chamber. Use chamber then. You turn back the plexiglass cover. Now you okay. Thank you. You make the split-second decision to enter the sleep chamber. It seals automatically. Soon you are overcome by pleasant drowsiness. This is certainly better than suffocating. You begin to drift away into a deep sleep with the satisfaction of having accomplished your task. You've come through it in a clutch and you deserve a nice long rest, which we will never know how long it actually was. Now, if someone would just pick you up somewhere along the way. So long, Roger Wilco, and thanks again for saving your people. So I missed 2 points in the end. That was rather annoying. I couldn't lie in bed, lie in chamber. I had to... It's rather weird. Get in chamber is not exactly what the command I would use. It's my eye drop alarm. I'm actually only down just to one eye drop now. Eye drop and lubrication. So, it's rather good. So, Space Quest 2, it's a pretty damn good game. Jokes aside, Space Quest 2 is really good. It's not as good as Space Quest 1 or Space Quest 3, though. Not by far. And the actual storyline is pretty bare bones. Roger's kidnapped. Roger gets free by no help of himself. Roger does a bunch of stuff, gets away, gets re-kidnapped by Vohal, kills Vohal, stops his plan of evil salesman, and then goes to sleep for an indeterminate period of time until Space Quest 3. But, you know, compared to King's Quest 2, it's pretty good. Compared to Police Quest 2, it's pretty bad, but that's SCI, so it's got the edge there. And I beat it in just 2 hours, pretty much. I think that's a pretty good time. I wish I knew where those 2 points were, though. No fucking idea what I missed for those. And this would actually be really cool as a screensaver. So thank you all for coming. My streams are normally 2 hours, so this game fit in perfectly. I hope to see some of you next time on my next stream, which will either be Codename Iceman or another, maybe an action game to break it up. Because I don't want to go back to Iceman unless I'm really in the mood for it, because it's really crap. So if someone can say sleeping potatoes, so I know you've heard me say have a good night, I'll sign off. Do my eye drop.